Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back, guys. Today's video, I want to answer a question that I've been getting a lot lately on Facebook Messenger, on Instagram, and email. And that question that you guys have been asking me is which Killer Instinct crossbow is better, the SWAT X1 or the Vital X 430? And I don't exactly know midway through the season where this question's coming from. It's a great one. I'm glad you guys are asking it. I don't know if it's the holidays coming up and you're shopping for a friend or family member, or maybe you're anticipating some colder weather, late season archery hunts after the firearm seasons, whatever it is. It's a really good question. I've got both crossbows. I've done videos on both crossbows, quite a few, which I do have links down below in the description if you haven't watched those already. But we have not done just a direct comparison of SWAT X1 to Vital X 430. So let's tackle that. And I think, especially if you haven't watched some of those other videos, I think we should start with between these two bows, what is the same? And the big thing with what is the same is the XCAM system. Both bows have the XCAM system. The XCAM system, one of the big advantages of it, you guys, and there's quite a few, but one of them is it's a dual synchronized cam system. And what that means for you is that the bow basically cannot come out of tune. It is the cams are timed to each other, so you essentially never have to worry about cam timing. It can't come out of tune. Other crossbows from other manufacturers that have different cam systems, that's not always the case. Some of them do require you to make adjustments and make sure the cams are timed to each other. Uh, the XCAM system, you do not have to worry about that. It's also a really just smooth cam system, both to cock it and to shoot it. It's got 50% let off, so it makes cocking an XCAM crossbow really, really easy. And then that smooth feeling when you shoot it. It's low sound, very low shock and vibration. Like it is just a very pleasant crossbow to shoot. Um, both bows, the SWAT X1 and the Vital X 430, are extremely accurate. Those videos I mentioned before, down below in the description, like I've sighted these things in on camera. I've shot kind of your more, uh, you know, normal crossbow hunting ranges with field points. We've done broadheads. We've stretched both of these bows out to 100 yards and shot fantastic groups with them. They are both extremely accurate. No matter what you feel like is an ethical hunting range, no matter if you want to use fixed blades or mechanicals, it doesn't really matter. Both bows are extremely accurate. Both bows are also going to come with a premium optics package from Killer Instinct. They're both going to come with the Lumix speed ring optic, which is another one we've done some detailed videos on. Great optic. That's going to help with that accuracy and just get you guys confident and dialed in. So both of them have that. They're both crank compatible. So if you want to have a crank on the bow, you can simply attach it to the buttstock of each crossbow and use a crank. If you don't want a crank, then you're not paying, for that extra cost of a crank system, an integrated crank. You don't have to worry about the weight of it, or simply if you don't want it, it's not there, but it's there if you do. So both of them have that crank compatibility. Both of them, as all Killer Instinct crossbows have, they've got the limited lifetime warranty. And really, you guys, both of them, they're overachievers in the sense of the performance levels that they offer for the price points that they come in at. And they are different prices, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But both of them really exceed the price point that you guys are going to pay. I mean, if you compare them to the competitors out there from different manufacturers, I mean, competitive product that is similar. Honestly, a lot of times both of these bows exceed the competition. The competition is 2x, 3x, sometimes even more, depending on what bows you're kind of comparing them to. So you really get a lot of bang for your buck on both of these bow models. So that's what is similar about these two bows, or the same about these two bows. So now let's talk about kind of what separates them, what is different about them, what might make one better than the other. And I think we should start with the Vital X. Vital X is the new bow, or was the new bow early in 2024 from Killer Instinct. And right off the bat, it's the fastest, it's the most powerful XCAM crossbow that Killer Instinct has done, with that 430 feet per second. manufacturer advertised speed, where the SWAT X1 is 405. So I really like too with the Vital X 430 how Killer Instinct got that speed. So the XCam lineup, and there's more than just these two bows, you guys too. If you haven't seen that, there's a whole lineup now of XCam crossbows, which is fantastic, and all of them are very similar. They're not all the same, but they're very similar in their draw weights. The Vital X 430, no exception. Honestly, it's a lower draw weight than some of the XCam models, but the way they got that extra 25 feet per second compared to the others is by adding power stroke, by having a little bit longer power stroke, and not enough that it's noticeable or that it feels like a really long crossbow or anything like that, but just enough to get that speed, make the bow a little bit more efficient, and still keep a reasonable draw weight that's easy to draw and cock. So I like how they got the speed out of this bow. This bow also has more adjustability. So the X1 does have an adjustable forend grip, but with it being a small crossbow, like you can't move it very much. And the X1 has no adjustability as far as the buttstock goes. Vital X 430, it's got a lot of adjustability up on the forend on that Picatinny rail system, and then it's got an AR style adjustable buttstock. So you get more adjustability in it, and just in the design of the Vital X 430, it's a more traditional design, and a lot of people like that. They're used to, a crossbow that's an open rail, how the arrow interfaces with the trigger box, how the string latches, where the safety position is. All of that is common, traditional. They simply, optimized the system and built it around their XCam system, where the SWAT X1 is a unique bow. It's different in how it operates, where the safety is, those type of things, where some people simply, want that more traditional style, and that's what the Vital X 430 offers. And also, you guys, it's cheaper. It's the cheaper option between the two. Now, I'll give you guys prices. This is what I just looked up on the Killer Instinct website. Today is November 13th. So the prices of these bows change too, depending on sales, promo codes you might have access to, rebates that Killer Instinct might offer. So just take it for, at this day and time, the Vital X 430, no sales or promo codes or anything like that added to it. It's a $600 bow. And I mean, really, for what it is at $600, and knowing that you can find some things to sweeten the pot a little bit, get that price down even a little bit more. It really is an awesome deal of a crossbow. So that is kind of the advantages, or the things that separate the Vital X 430 from the SWAT X1. Now let's flip the script. Let's go to the SWAT X1 and talk about what makes the SWAT X1 special. First thing is the AccuTac barrel system. So the SWAT X1, 360-degree enclosed barrel system, the only crossbow that I know of on the market that has that. And what it does with that barrel system is it basically does not give the arrow room to oscillate. So when it's being launched, not having room to oscillate is leaving the bow in a more stable state, which is going to translate to just some awesome downrange accuracy, awesome broadhead flight. It's also a bullpup design crossbow. So it's really little. It's short. It's compact. It's extremely well balanced. The balance of it is incredible, with like your grip is basically dead center in the middle of the bow, completely balanced on the front side and the back side of it, but it still has a normal length of pull. So it looks little. When you shoulder it, it feels really good. But the balance, the length of pull, all of that. But it's just a really nice compact design. And with kind of going back to the AccuTac barrel system, one thing that I personally really like is I'll frame it as the bow basically like loads the arrow for you. So instead of you sliding the arrow on that open rail, being held down by some type of arrow retainer, and making sure it's fully seated back there against the string, um, the arrow basically free falls into the SWAT X1 barrel, and there's a little arrow load lever on the back that when you flip it, the arrow drops down into perfect spot into the trigger box mechanism, and once you let go, it's retained. And if you need to get the arrow out, you simply flip that lever too. Like, I like that. It makes me feel confident that every single time that arrow is getting all the way back, fully seated, and in the exact same spot. Basically, the bow and gravity does it for you. The trigger on the SWAT X1. Now, the Vital X 430 has a really good trigger. It does. It's a great trigger. The SWAT X1, honest to God, it's in a league of its own as far as triggers go. I mean, it is one of the best triggers, regardless of crossbow, firearm. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's simply incredible. I truly would put it up against the best rifles that I have, and just how clean it is, how well it breaks, how confident I am shooting it. I love a good trigger. The SWAT X1 is the best trigger of any crossbow I've shot, and is right up there with some of the best rifles that I've shot. It's also very safe. And this is something that I don't know if we've talked about or other people talk about a lot. And the reason I say that, not that the Vital X 430 isn't safe, but the unique design of the SWAT X1 with that barrel system, with the bullpup design, and with how big the finger guards are on the SWAT X1. Like, there's almost no room for you to get your fingers in a dangerous place on the SWAT X1. So I think, in my opinion, it's a really safe bow in that aspect. Just, there isn't really room for you to stick your finger in a dangerous spot, other than if like you were doing it on purpose, type of thing. Now, kind of like we mentioned, the safety position on the SWAT X1 is unique. It's all the way back here by the buttstock, and that, for some people might not like that. It hasn't been a problem for me. It's just different in that you kind of just have to go through your shot sequence when you're out there in the woods differently, and that's because the string comes all the way back to the buttstock with that bullpup design. And then this is the more expensive option. So again, today, November 13th, KI's website, no sales, no promo codes, no any of that stuff. It's $1,000 bow. But again, if you look at what this bow is, what it offers, how incredibly well it performs, and you pair that up to the flagship models of other manufacturers' crossbows, it's a steal. Once again, I mean, you're looking 2 to 3x or more for flagship crossbows that have this type of performance from other manufacturers. So to me, the question really, it isn't necessarily which is better, just straight up which is better, because they're both really good. It's which is better for you. They've both got a lot of things that are the same. They've got some differences that might be different preferences for each of you. It really is which one is better for you, price-wise, performance-wise, design, functionality, traditional versus unique, all that type of stuff. And I'll give you guys a couple of examples. So on the Vital X 430 side, we have both of these crossbows here at our house. They're ready to go. They've both been in the woods this fall. My wife prefers the Vital X 430, and she can shoot the SWAT. Like, price, with us having both of them here, price is kind of not a deciding factor, but she prefers the Vital X 430 for a couple of reasons. One is that she is more confident in that more traditional design. She has shot crossbows before, she's hunted with them, she's killed deer with them. Like, she knows how to operate the Vital X 430, where the uniqueness of the SWAT X1 just isn't something she personally is confident in. And she also really likes the adjustability of it. She likes how she can has a lot of adjustability on the fore end of it. She likes how she can adjust the buttstock, whether she's elevated in a tree stand, she can change it. If she's on the ground or in a pop-up blind hunting with a tripod, she can change it. Like, she likes being able to have that adjustability, and she likes where the safety position is. Just, again, that traditional design, she knows exactly where the safety is, where the X1, the safety being back here, is just something she doesn't like. So my wife would prefer the Vital X 430 over the SWAT X1. Me personally, I prefer the SWAT X1 for a couple of reasons. Number one, I love the bullpup design. The compactness of it, the balance and the feel of it is what I prefer for a lot of the tree stand type of hunting, or the mobile setups like hunting from a saddle, which I do a lot. Uh, I just like it. It feels really good to me. It's really balanced. It's really easy for me to shoot offhand. I have no problem shooting it out of a tripod if I need to as well, if I'm doing a ground setup or a pop-up blind. But I love the bullpup design. Another thing for me is the trigger. The trigger on it it's awesome, like I said, and I just feel really confident knowing that when it's time to squeeze off a shot and I just put a little pressure on it, breaks clean. Um, it just is what I really like. I said both of them are accurate. Both of them are. But again, that AccuTac barrel system, not only the accuracy, but like I mentioned before, the way it loads, how the arrow seats down in the trigger box with me flipping a lever, like that just gives me confidence that I'm putting the arrow in the exact same spot on the string every single time. So for me, the SWAT X1 is my choice. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that helps you out. But again, it really is which crossbow is better for you from a price standpoint, from a design standpoint, from a functionality standpoint. Both of them are going to get the job done. Both of them are absolute steals, in my opinion, when you look at their performance compared to the competition at the price points that both of them come in at. Like, you cannot go wrong with either one of them. It really just is what you're looking for, what you're comfortable with, what factors or elements of each bow matter the most to you. So I hope you guys like this. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, please hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon on the next video. Take care, God bless, and remember, be a sportsman, make a sportsman.